So the Black Ops ports just took their biggest step yet. The trophies have officially gone live on Sony servers. And that traditionally means one thing: release day is days away. But buried inside those exact trophy lists is some bad news that nobody saw coming. Because it looks like these ports are launching without some of the features that we grew up with. And here's the problem: everyone's going to see these headlines, trophies are live, they're going to get hyped and completely miss what these trophies are actually telling us. Because when you look closely at what's been reworded, replaced, and what has been quietly removed, there is a story in there that changes what these ports actually are. So in this video, I'm breaking down everything, including the trophy news and why it means that we are genuinely days away, the features that appear to be gone and there is more than one, and why one of those removals might secretly be the best news that we have had yet. And also when I actually think these are dropping, because the release window just got a whole lot narrower. So let's start with the headline news, because this dropped just hours ago. The full trophy list from Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2 have appeared on Sony servers, actually live on PlayStation's own backend. So trophy lists going live on Sony servers is one of the very last steps before a game actually launches. Think about the sequence that we have watched over the past couple of days. So first the games appeared in the database, then we had update 01.02, followed by 01.03, which is traditionally the final technical path before launch. That is a game that is literally waiting to be released at any moment. Now we have Push Square, which is one of the biggest PlayStation sites out there, and they directly said that the emergence of these trophies suggests that a date is imminent, which means not this month, not soon, but imminent, as in within a couple of days. And they would know because they've watched this exact pattern play out with hundreds of releases. And there's also a bonus that I do not want to skip past, and that is that charlieintel confirmed something crucial when the trophies dropped. The trophy lists are made completely separate for PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4. And that means that we are going to be getting proper PS4 and PS5 native versions for both games. So it's not going to be a PS4 game running through backwards compatibility on your PS5. It's an actual native version for that console. And here's the best part: you get both versions included with one purchase. So for those trophy hunters watching, you get two games, each with a PS4 and PS5 separate trophy list, which means 4 platinum trophies available. It looks like my trophy hunter community is going to be eating well this summer. Right, now stick with me, because this is where things get complicated. And this is where most people covering this news are missing the specifics. When the trophy list went live, people started comparing them to the original PS3 lists. And at first glance, they looked identical. Same trophy names, same structure, but 3 of them have specifically been changed. And once you see what they were and what they've become, the picture gets really clear really fast. So trophy 1 is big leagues from Black Ops 2. Now, the original PS3 trophy read as such: win 5 multiplayer league play matches after being placed in a division. Now, that was the ranked competitive trophy, and that's one that you actually had to grind league play for. Now, on the new PS4 and PS5 ports, that trophy has been reworded to start the campaign. That's it. So just boot up the story mode. They took a competitive online grand trophy and replaced it with the easiest possible task in the game. Now, what this tells me is they are trying to remove league play completely. Now, trophy number 2 is in the money from Black Ops 1. So the original wording was finish 5 wager matches in the money. In other words, placing the top 3 of 5 wager matches. Now, wager matches were a mode where you used to bet your COD points on game modes like One in the Chamber, Sticks and Stones, Gun Game, and Sharpshooter. So on the new ports, this trophy has been entirely removed, and I'll talk about that a little bit more in just a second. And now trophy number 3 is called Date Night, and that was also for BO1. And the original wording was to watch a film or a clip with a friend. And that is the theater mode trophy, basically. And that trophy has also been removed, which I think is very, very important, which I'm going to get onto in just a second. Now, to be clear, this is not officially confirmed by Treyarch yet, but trophy evidence is basically the closest thing that we can get to, apart from Treyarch actually telling us. And trophies are locked into a game's identity on Sony servers, so they cost money and paperwork to change. So if these 3 have been altered like this, it's because someone at Treyarch or Iron Galaxy had to change them for a reason. And the most obvious reason is that these features were tied and aren't there anymore. Right, so let's start with the one that stings, because I'm not going to sugarcoat it. If wager matches are genuinely gone from BO1, that hurts, because this is one of the most brilliant things that Treyarch ever created. Wager matches were basically game modes where you would put your COD points on the line. We had actual stakes, and only the top 3 players in that lobby got a payout. Everyone else would lose their wager. It was basically gambling for your grind, and it created a tension that no other mode in Call of Duty has ever matched. And the gamers were absolutely incredible themselves. So you had One in the Chamber, you had Sticks and Stones, where you basically had a ballistic knife and a crossbow only, and if someone tomahawked you, you would get bankrupt, as in your whole score was gone. You then had Gun Game, which is one of my personal favorites, where you'd be racing through 20 weapons, and the first to cycle through all of them wins. But if you get knifed, you'd be sent back a level, meaning you would would go back to your previous gun. And lastly, we have sharpshooter, where everyone gets the same random gun and it rotates every 45 seconds. So these modes were absolute chaos and they were just pure fun. And honestly, I created some of my best memories on Black Ops 1. So if that's gone, it is a real loss, and I'm not going to pretend otherwise. Now, the small silver lining is that these modes themselves might still exist in some form. It might just not be using the wagering system. And the reason for that is that gambling mechanics are a much bigger deal with age ratings now than they were in 2010. But even if these modes survive without the wager, losing the stakes loses half the magic. So that tension of having your points on the line was the whole point. So yeah, this one kind of hurts. Okay, theater mode. And here's where I'm going to say something that's going to sound mad, but hear me out all the way, because this might genuinely be the best news in the entire video. Losing theater mode might save these ports. Now, before you jump to the comments, let me explain, because if you've watched my earlier videos on the hacking situation, you already know where it's going. So theater mode, the feature that would let you rewatch and clip your games, was one of the primary ways that hackers got into these games on the original consoles. So it wasn't just weak servers, and theater mode specifically was pointed to as a door or a vulnerability in how it handled the game data, and that gave people a way in. Now, the feature that we all love for making clips was quietly one of the biggest security holes in the entire game. So think about what it actually means to remove it. So Treyarch and remastered didn't just port these games blind. They looked at the history, they identified what got these games destroyed the first time round, and they cut it out. Not to mention that the PS4 and PS5 have really good clipping systems anyway, so there would be no point of having this in the game realistically. And then the third removal, Black Ops 2 League Play. And I'll be honest with you, this is the one that I'm kind of least bothered about. And I say that as someone who has played Call of Duty competitively. So for those who don't know, League Play was Black Ops 2 ranked mode essentially, and back in the day it was genuinely groundbreaking. We had proper divisions, seasons, and it was the closest thing on console to the esports ladder. So it mattered enormously in 2012, but here's the honest truth about it. In 2026, it would need a living, breathing, competitive infrastructure behind it. The seasons would need managing, ladders would need resetting, divisions need populations big enough to actually matchmake properly. So for a port of a 15-year-old game, maintaining a full ranked ecosystem was always going to be a stretch. And think about who's actually buying these ports. It's us, people coming back for nostalgia, for the pub lobbies, for the zombies with the boys. The hardcore ranked audience has already moved on to the modern ranked modes. So while it's a shame on paper, this is the one that affects the actual experience the least. Now here is a genuine interesting wrinkle in all of this that I haven't seen a single person talk about yet. So let me be the first. So the Xbox backwards compatibility versions of these games, the ones that Xbox players have been playing for years, still have theater mode. So we're about to be in this strange situation where the brand new PlayStation ports, the ones where people are paying $40 for, have fewer features than the free version running on a rival console. And on paper that sounds kind of bad for PS, but let's flip it around. The Xbox versions also still have the original problems, the hacked lobbies, the notorious server issues, and Xbox players that are playing on those backwards compatibility versions have been complaining the entire time about the state of the lobbies for years. It is one of the most consistent complaints in the entire community. Meanwhile, PlayStation ports are getting brand new servers, native versions, and the security holes surgically removed. Right, so now the question that everyone actually wants answered. The trophies are live, the updates have stopped at 1.03, everything is staged, but when does it actually drop? And the window just got genuinely narrow, so let me walk you through the logic. So first, we know it's in July, that was officially confirmed by Treyarch. Secondly, charlieintel, which is the most reliable source in the entire community, says very, very soon. Thirdly, the trophies going live actually means that it's not going to be weeks, it's going to be in a matter of days. So the pieces are all pointing to the same direction. Now here's where the calendar comes in, because Call of Duty's own schedule tells us which weeks are blocked off. So Black Ops 7 free weekend just wrapped up on the 6th of July, so they were never going to post it during that time. And next week there is a Modern Warfare 4 showcase happening, so Activision won't want these ports stealing their headlines from their brand new game. The week after that is the Black Ops 7 Season 5, which is another blocked week, and they won't bury their own season launch. And on top of all of that, the Call of Duty League Championship weekend runs on the 19th of July. So do the maths with me. This week is clear. The next 2 weeks are blocked, and after that, you're at the very end of July. And that barely counts as a July release, which means that logically, there are only two realistic options. That would be right now, this week, or in the final days of the month. Now, me personally, I think that we are absolutely days away, or possibly hours away, and I think that it's going to shadow drop with no warning at all. Right, so let's address the elephant in the room, because I know some of you have watched the middle of this video and thought, hang on, missing features, is it still worth it? And I want to give you my genuine answer. Yes, absolutely yes. And here's the way that I would frame it. Ask yourself, why are you actually buying these ports? And be honest. Are you buying them for multiplayer because of the maps? You got Raid, Standoff, Hijacked, Firing Range, and Summit. Are you buying them for zombies with the iconic Kino, Mob of the Dead, Origins, etc.? Are you buying them for the campaigns, which in my opinion are two of the best that this franchise has ever produced? Now think about this. Every single one of those are fully intact. Now what's potentially missing is the wagering system, a ranked ladder that realistically wasn't going to be working anyway because of the population, and a clip tool that doubled as a hacker's front door. Now I'm going to talk about how to be ready. So I've got one last practical bit before I wrap up. Because if I'm right about the shadow drop, you're not going to get a countdown. You're just going to get a tweet and just a store page update. And during that time, the people that prepared are going to be playing whilst everyone else is watching a download bar. So the first thing is storage, okay? We know that the file size for Black Ops 1 is around 22 gigs, and for Black Ops 2 is around 30 gigs. That's over 50 gigabytes for both. And if the trophies are right, that you're getting potentially a PS4 and PS5 version, you need to give yourself a lot of room. So clear that space tonight. Do not wait until launch day, because the launch day download speeds with the entire community hammering PSN at once is going to be brutal. And you want to be first in that lobby, not last. Secondly, have your funds sorted out. 40 per game, 80 for both. Based on the Xbox pricing, that is. But have your wallet either way topped up or your card ready on your account, because fumbling with your payment details while your mates are playing in the lobby is a special kind of pain. And thirdly, get the group chat ready now. Like, genuinely, message the boys today. Tell them it could be at any day, so they need to sort everything out. Get your plans sorted out. If they ain't got their consoles anymore, get them to buy a console. Because the best part of the launch night is not going to be the game itself. It's going to be the first full party lobby, where everyone's rusty, everyone's screaming, everyone's going to be home again. And do not let that first night happen without you. So that's the full picture. The trophies are live on Sony servers, which historically means that we are days away. We're getting a native PS4 and PS5 version for both Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2. And it seems like the wager system has been removed, as well as league play gone from Black Ops 2. So the release window has basically narrowed to this week or the very end of the month. And with everything staged, and with the insider saying that it's going to be very soon, I genuinely believe that we are going to be getting a shadow drop any day now. So keep your storage cleared, keep your notifications on, because when things go live, I will have a video up immediately. So let me know in the comments, do you think that these ports can actually change the direction of the franchise, or is it too far gone? Now, I saw the other day that there is literally 1.3% of you guys are actually subscribed. And I don't think I've ever seen a YouTuber with a lower subscribe percentage. So, yeah. Subscribe if you want to be here when these ports drop, and if you want to raise the number from that 1%. And one more thing. Do not forget this. Jesus is king. He is the one and only savior. So repent and believe in the gospel. I will see you in the next one.